Well, here we go. We're off again. Kirk Williamson with KPN Photo Tours. We're headed off to Harold Burnham's boatyard over in Essex, Mass. We're headed over to Essex right now to visit with Harold and a buddy of his, Bruce. They're going to be working on some little odds and ends, little details that need to be done for the schooner. I know Bruce is going to be working on some blocks, and I know that Harold was thinking of working on a half model. Some very interesting things. We can do some close-ups. I can think some great photography in Harold's workshop over here in Essex. So let's get to the video. Ah, there's Harold over there working. These are some of the half models that Harold Burnham has made over the years and put up on the wall. Some of these models are of ships that he's actually built or worked on, and then there are others that he just liked the way the ship looked. Really, really cool stuff. These really tight shots here really show some of the detail that goes into some of these half models. And eventually one of the Beal will look kind of similar to this, and will look really nice oiled up and varnished and all that. Harold's working on half models here, and I'm just working on photographing what he's doing, just setting up the templates. Harold is creating lifts here with drawings made of the Sylvina Beal. These lifts will be put together, or glue, I should say, cut out and glued together to make the half model. You can see what the lift looks like right here for the half models that he's going to be creating of the Beal. Bruce is over here in the corner working on cutting out these template sides for the half model that they're working on. Actually, there's probably going to be a number of half models for this project. So as Bruce is cutting out the sides for this, the template for this model, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take some still shots using these 16-80, and the exposure is, it's ISO 3200 and it's about 100 at f4. I can't believe how sharp this image is. F4 with the 16-80 zoomed all the way in at 70 or 122. Pretty amazing. So what I've done is I've tried to get some tight shots, some wide shots. Typical photojournalist style, I want to cover every angle if we can. And it's pretty important to make sure I get a lot of different angles. So Bruce and Harold are going to glue up the lifts from the waterline and to fill out the models, and then going to start doing the carving afterwards. So we're going to photograph our way through this process.
So the key is getting them all lined up.
Yeah.
What Bruce and Harold are doing here is they're lining up the lifts for the three half models that they are going to build, and make sure that they're all in the correct place, so when they glue them all together and then clamp them all together, they'll be in the right place and the models will be easily carved out later.
What is this bottle? Exactly.
Bruce is checking on this lift to make sure it's been cut correctly and to make sure that it all fits together in the right order. All the lifts are glued together with some good wood glue, and then they're clamped together and left overnight, and then the next day we come back and carve them up.
You know, we have the time for that. This goes that one. So Kathy's come to expect models with it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you're probably done with me today.
Might take off early?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
The next day, Bruce and Harold check out the half models that have been glued and clamped together and make sure that they're ready to be carved out. You can see here they're checking out how the lifts have been put together. And they've also screwed it to a backboard to make it easier to carve up too, and also how it displays too. Well, we're upstairs in Harold's loft, where Harold and Bruce are busy carving up their half models of the Beal. Well, they're coming along pretty good. Harold says it takes him 10 minutes to do that. I'm not sure that's true or not, but it's looking like he's got it pretty close. What really amazed me about working with the 16 to 80 for this documentary project is that the shutter speeds are really, really low. 25th of a second, 30th, 60th, 40th, somewhere in that range. So the OIS in this lens is incredibly good. I can't believe how good it is. Now, normally I would be shooting with a 16 to 55 or 24 to 70 f2.8 lens, so that the shutter speeds were more like in the 100 range, 100th of a second. So I've been really, really surprised by this whole thing. Standard picture story rules apply. Wide, medium, and tight of every situation you photograph. So I've been trying to do that with these two guys, more tight stuff, but I don't know, I think we're getting a lot of what they're doing. It's looking pretty good.
It's actually the Thomas Lanham.
Oh, really?
Same scale.
Harold is checking the scale of the model that he's working on now with the model of the Thomas Lanham that he built a few years ago, or many years ago now, just to check and make sure that they're the right size. I know that they're not really the same size, but they're close.
So after we finish this, we're going to sand it. That's right.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, we sand it.
Yeah, we'll sand it.
Okay.
Oil it.
Make it look pretty neat. Harold had to run out, so he left the model that he was working on for Bruce to use as a guide as he was carving out the one he was working on. Well, that wraps up episode 2 over here at the Burnham Shipyard. where they were working on half models of the Beal. So if you like this video and you like the content, please subscribe, hit the notification button, things like that. And check out maybe capeannphototours.com. And we've got some interesting things going on. But I hope you keep up with my series here with the building of the Sylvina Beal, which is going to take a few years, so hang in there. We'll see you next week.